All right, y'all. Now they want to agree with us. All this time. Now they want to agree with us. Y'all don't know how many posts I've seen where people were like, you know what? In the last 10 plus years, every conspiracy theorist was right about everything they ever said, right? So it took them supposedly releasing a million plus documents, right? Like a million plus or something like that. And this specific diary of one of the alleged victims, right? Where it really gave detail of the sacrifice of the little ones and possibly things that are even more disgusting that I'm not willing to quite say on YouTube, right? Um, I'm definitely gonna have to like cook up another video more geared to this topic for my Patreon where I could just really say everything and show a lot more. Y'all know on YouTube, you're playing with fire if you get into certain stuff about this topic because it gets a little bit darker. But I have never seen so many people talking about these Canaanite and Phoenician gods, Molech and Baal. Y'all know if y'all been on my channel, we have talked about this so many times. I've done so many videos where the topic led back to Molech, who was the, Phoenician god that these people were sacrificing their little ones to. That's why his stomach is a furnace of fire, welcoming the sacrifice. You'll get a little confused if you read in it too much, but supposedly, according to research and history, there are two different gods. Baal being more of a fertility god, but it's like they're the same thing almost in a sense. Baal being the god of rain, storm, and fertility. Molech literally is a god of little one sacrifice. Literally, that's who he is. Insane, right? But it kind of goes hand in hand. One being a god of fertility, the other one being the god of little one sacrifice. They basically go hand in hand, right? But I've never seen this much conversation about these gods in specific because of what is coming out in those documents. And y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, them files. Let's get into a couple of clips.
Baal is the anti-God. When the people of God turn from God, they turn to Baal. And Baal is literally the highest ranking demon in the unseen realm. He works directly for Satan himself. His name is referred to as master or lord or owner. When demons are named, he is almost always named first because he is of highest rank. The Baals are other demons that work under Baal. In addition, as you read Judges, you will hear the word Baal and then a place. And that means that there is a Baal that has jurisdiction and territorial authority over that place. These demons still exist today. So there is a Baal Seattle, there is a Baal San Francisco, there is a Baal Washington, D.C., there is a Baal London. This is why you can get new political leadership, but if you don't get new spiritual leadership, nothing changes in the culture. And there are places that have oppression, and there is a demonic spirit that has jurisdictional territorial authority, and it imposes a culture on people.
What he's talking about is these people worshiping these same deities pretty much no matter where you're at. No matter what side of the world that you live on, these people are worshiping these same gods. And a lot of people have been talking about how the files just showed that Jeffrey had a bank account named Baal. That's where a lot of this stuff is coming in at. People are finally paying attention to the ones who've been talking about this for a very long time. Let's get into it.
Your money dirty money?
If you live,
I just asked a question. Is your money dirty money?
No, it's not. So, in fact,
Why is it not dirty money?
Because I earned it.
But you earned it.
I earned it legally.
We went back to this before. You earned
Yes.
it. You earned it, advising the worst people in the world, right? That do enormous bad things, and just to make more money. You're a mathematician. We walked into that clinic where they're giving that money out to these people that are in the most dire straits of poverty and sickness, and told them that the money was coming from class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
Was tier 1's the highest and worst?
No,
I'm the lowest.
I'm the lowest.
You're
yes.
the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest. But a criminal.
Yes.
That the money came from them. What percentage of people do you estimate? I understand you don't like probabilities. Do you estimate would say, I don't care, I want the money for my children?
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
Did they know where the money came from?
I think if you told them,
if
I told them the devil,
100%.
the devil
himself
said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question. Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember, the devil is somebody who knows.
Smart?
Now, I watched a good bit of the entire interview. This man did this interview as if he had no care in the world. As if you already know he is not dead. He did this. He said, yeah, I'm tier 1. Yeah, I'm the lowest level. Yeah, just run with it. That's cool. Even though I'm, technically I'm the highest level. But yeah, tier 1. Yeah. You're a criminal? Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I'm a criminal. Yeah, for sure. I love this. Somebody said this is exactly what I think about when I see Jeffrey. One of the best comments that I've ever seen on this topic. But he said, yeah, criminal for sure. Something about the devil, exchanging dollars for a little one, and then asked him, "Are you the devil?" Then he's like, did a little scratch. Why would you say that? His first off, this was a lot of first times that people have heard him talk. I myself, the fact that you never heard him talk was done on purpose. The man probably got at least 2 or 3 accents that he can, speak comfortably in. This is why we're just now hearing him talk. All we saw was pictures, other people talking for him, his brother. We never heard him talk until now. It's done on purpose. None of this stuff is being released just for the hell of it. This is like, it's almost the same thing as releasing it in a way of like soft disclosure. Nothing is going to happen. The structure has already, been laid. There's not going to be any more kind of outcry. It's just going to be shock. Oh my God, this and this and that, revealed this and revealed that. Nothing else is going to happen. They already know that. That's why they released this interview as well. I mean, he was just chilling. Yeah, I'm all of that. But what you're talking about right here doesn't matter. My plan is already done. It's in motion. You're going to think I'm gone. And I'm not gone. I'm not. I'm still actually here. And if you believe that this man is dead, you got another thing coming for you. You are being fooled. Don't even think for a second that he is dead.
When you realize that they are still sacrificing children to the same gods from the beginning of time, you really realize this world is so spiritual, and you realize that the Bible proves to be true. The fact that these elites are sacrificing children to Baal and Moloch, still to this day, it's 2026, they are actively on this island making these children have babies to sacrifice them to Baal or Moloch. The fact that Jeffrey Epstein's bank account name is Baal says everything I need to know. No, they worship those same gods. These are all the same bloodlines of people. Nothing has changed.
Y'all understand the torture that they put these children through? Not just the kids that they are kidnapping and snatching away from their families, but the kids that they are also making these kids have, mind you, through SA, right? Because they are raping these children as well. Then making them have the baby only to sacrifice the baby to one of these gods. Y'all don't understand that when the Bible says that Satan is the lowercase g God of this world, this is exactly what the things entail. I understand that they would quite literally, these things would be heated up like a furnace. It would be like statues, and they would be heated up like a furnace, and they would put the baby alive, might I add, into these furnaces to sacrifice the baby. This is sick, bro. This is so sick. Mind you, they eat them and they drink their red stuff that's in their body.
You see how it makes people react. It becomes overwhelming just talking about it, because you're then going into not only them sacrificing the little ones, like he was saying at the end, they're filling their bellies with them. You know what I'm saying? They're getting red juice. You know what I'm saying? It goes deeper than just the sacrifice. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to cook up another video for my Patreon. But this is where we're at in the world that we live in the times that we are all alive witnessing this. A full release of people who you thought, yeah, some evil stuff going on. And then now, it's completely shit that you would never imagine. Just like that diary. I'm not going to read anything from that diary here. There's a lot of videos on it, but I may get into it more in another video. And the girl goes into detail, and it's like what he was talking about. Was basically being forced to have a baby, and then that baby disappears. That baby is gone. It was took. It was took, and God knows what they did with the baby. That's what we're dealing with. And we're not talking about this happening last year, 2 years ago. We're talking about this stuff happening since the beginning of time. Now, if you want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, modern world, Jeffrey and all of that, oh yeah, it's been going on for a very long time, y'all. A very long time. And now a lot of people, I mean, me, I'm not mad. I'm not mad people are now agreeing with us. It's beautiful to watch it, because now people can really see what this world is about. People can really see truth stranger than fiction. People can really see, the veil thinning. Can really see those blinders coming off your eyes. God is saying, open your eyes to a world that has been here the entire time. I've kept a sheet over it. I've kept the veil where it was for so long, but it has to open. It has to start thinning so people can see the truth and ultimately come to God for the answer. And that's where we're at. Somebody said this is a demon planet. Jesus came here to show us how to get out of it. Religion is man's worst creation. They're all sick. Somebody said, but when I said this years ago, I was labeled crazy. Oh, of course. This, people don't care about it until stuff like this with certain faces start coming out with the information. It takes a lot of people to convert to this side. They have to see certain faces talking about it before they could actually believe in it. If it's not that certain face, you just look a little crazy. And if y'all know what I'm trying to say, then, we eye to eye. Let's see what we got next.
Do you guys ever wonder why Hillary Clinton in those WikiLeaks emails was asking a few days before we invaded Iraq, She was trying to locate Gilgamesh's tomb. I don't know if you guys read the Epic of Gilgamesh. I certainly did when I was at university. Effectively, it has been long suspected that Gilgamesh was actually Nimrod in the Bible, okay? So think of the Tower of Babel. We can build society. We're greater than God. Why would Hillary Clinton be looking for that tomb in Iraq? That's where Gilgamesh is featured, in Iraq, present-day Iraq. Yeah, okay, so you gotta wake up, guys. It's all real. They made you think that this was hocus pocus. It's not. They are practicing ancient witchcraft. Who knows what they were going to attempt to do with that, but a lot of our activities in the Middle East have nothing to do with a war on terror. In fact, we kind of are the terrorists. If we're being honest, and what the CIA's been up to, we kind of are the terrorists. That's how you kill 1 million Iraqis, by just lying and saying they're weapons of mass destruction. No, they just mass murdered people, but they are also destroying ancient sites. The reason for that is because you cannot, as they want to be, this is what the AI future is about, they want there to be no past, and they will control the ever present, right? You say this happened yesterday, they'll delete a file. It didn't happen yesterday anymore. So they want to go back and they want to destroy all of these relics. That's why there's this obsession with...
When she said that, that reminds me of the Mandela effect. Control the ever present. No past. Nothing exists that you thought existed. That is exactly what the Mandela effect is. And I think they've been experimenting with that shit the entire time.
To Armenia, which they're working on right now, Iraq, Iran. That's exactly what I think. Iran is another place where there's so much history, but they have not been successful in destroying the ancient temples, which show you that the Star of David, it was never associated with Judaism. Jews, please wake up. The Kiddush cup, that is the traditional symbol of Judaism. It even says this on Wikipedia, that this did not emerge until the 17th century, right? 1666 was when that guy who was a mystic declared himself to be the Messiah. And they adopted this symbol because it's actually from Solomon's seal, to the people that believed that Solomon's ring held power. And I want to show you this because they have done a very good job of destroying a lot of these relics of these Baal temples, but they have not done a complete job. Baal is, they are making sacrifices to Baal. That is the sacrifice that these pagans are making, with constant bloodshed of children. Now, I want to show you this. I don't know if you have pulled this in yet, Skylar. Some of these relics, like in Baalbek, Lebanon.
Haven't we talked about the Seal of Solomon being used digitally, and emojis, and on chips that are in the phones? Because you have to think about it. In order for a phone to be a portal, it's not just the black screen that is actually used as a gateway. It has to be more. And I think we talked about that before, as far as the Seal of Solomon's being digitally, like, an imprint being on the chips that are used for these phones, also being the emojis. We've talked about that before, because I remember finding a clip that was very, very interesting about that. And that is how these black screens are actually portals. Man, that's a crazy topic right there. Somebody said they're gonna clone Gilgamesh to try to bring him back. Dude will finally get the more immortality that he was searching for. Yes, I believe that's true. The veil is indeed thinning. It's all real. I read Gilgamesh. I do believe we only go to war because we're looking for ancient artifacts. That is, man. They use the demon seal without the seal, symbolizes the demon's releases. See, same thing through these phones, I'm telling y'all. Somebody said not witchcraft, most likely demonology or dark magic, very different. Somebody said Gilgamesh was Nephilim, and they wanted that DNA to figure out how to make the giants. This is a crazy topic, y'all. We're going to get into it a little more when I do another video for my Patreon. Y'all definitely look out for that. That being said, y'all, let me know what y'all think. Black Balloon. And I'm going to see y'all soon, all right? I'm out.